So finally, we've got a nice day. I mean, I had a day, when was it, yesterday or whatever, but I decided not to come. The tides were very early. But, you see, well, what you can see maybe, it's pretty damn calm. It's been 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks, might even be 3, I've lost count. But we've just had wind consistently and rain, but the wind has just been non-stop. Not even a chance to get out. Even when it eased off one time, during that period, it was coming straight in here. It just wasn't any point coming here because the swell was so big. Because when you get the low pressure in the Atlantic still, it forces up a big swell. So you can see the water's racing out. It's a really big tide now. So we're going to go out and give it a go. I've still got some pots out there, I think, anyway, if they're still there. I'm just going to bring those in today because I know in a couple of days we're back to wind again. So this is probably going to be, I would say, the last dinghy trip for this year. If I decide to go out any other time from then, obviously I'll film it, or film if it's a good day. But to be honest, I think once you get to sort of January and February, we don't catch a lot here. It just sort of dies off. So I might do a bit of shore fishing. The bream normally hang around. I haven't even been able to do that, like I say, just purely because of the weather. I've just been literally stuck at home, hoping to get out. So anyway, we'll go out and we'll see what's what. It's a little breezy still, I can see, but we should be alright. Whether we'll catch anything, I don't know. I've left the tide a bit late today, but it's that's fine. We'll see what's there. I mean, we pretty much ended the last one on a really good fish, so I'm quite happy about that for this year anyway. And then next year we'll start fresh. Although, like I say, we'll try and do some more videos and that between now. I hope to get this back down sort of around March. That's usually when I say storms ease up. You can start getting out then. You still got to be careful. I won't put the big boat down till at least April, May, because the storms. You get a big storm hit, that will lose the boat and get pretty nasty. Right, we will see you when we're out there. Got my little telescopic rod again today. I've also brought out the bigger rod, just in case. This is only a small fish. Picked it up near a little reef over there. Possibly long nosy maybe? Or garfish? Yeah, it's garfish. Like I said, there should be quite a few of these around now. They're normally around this time of year. Right, I'm going to get it unhooked back into the water and we'll get going again. Well, I had a couple of takes then on both rods. The big rod went, but then it seemed to go off like it didn't have anything. Then this one sort of tightened up. I got a feeling it might be long nose again that's stabbing at it. Unless the fish has swum onto this, across to this line, maybe with the other hook, I don't know. We're going to find out. Got some weight to it, unless it's just weed or something. A bit weird, this one. The other one was definitely a fish take. This one was a lot sort of slower almost. It's not fighting much, so it feels a bit pollocky. Just take this out here. Yeah, it's a pollock. Not a bad pollock. I was just thinking of going out deeper actually, because I've been trailing up and down a few times now and I haven't really caught anything. So I thought maybe I'll go out a bit further. I might do that and come back again. The thing is, the tide's going down so quick. This area, once the tide drops too low, it won't be any good here. Fish will move deeper or just stop feeding. Yeah, there is actually a fish on this line. Trouble is, this rod's a lot stiffer. Didn't notice it so much. It's actually, this rod is actually two rods. Both of them broke. I say broke, yeah, one of them I snapped ages ago, and then the other one broke as well, but I mean they are so old. I've had these rods for years, so I just put them together. There we go, another nice pollock. That's tomorrow's supper sorted out. Well, it's dinner. Gonna have pollock tomorrow, being it's the last, like I say, proper trip in the boat. I'm gonna take a couple of nice ones. This is gonna be one of them. I'll take 2 or 3. I'll see. If they're this big, I'll probably take 3. If they're just bigger, I'd only take 2. But the thing is with pollock, it's a great freezing fish as well. You can put this in the freezer, fill it some up for the freezer, and it freezes really well. So you've got some over the winter. There we go. Lovely fish that. Not a giant, but big enough. That was a nice take. Keep running forward. So I think the other lure's further back, so it might pass over the same patch of fish if it's a shoal. It's either a bigger pollock, maybe, or maybe a bass. I reckon it's going to be a pollock, this one. It's not fighting much, so. Although sometimes bass do that, and when they get to the boat, they go off like a rocket. Yeah, it's pollock. Another good sized one. Just gotta get moving, or I'll drift back into my other line. I've got 2 rods out, being it's been a bit quiet. There we go, that's a lovely one, that. If you ever get pollock in your area and you like it, and you think it's a boring fish to eat, it can be if you eat it fresh. I say fresh. If you put it in the fridge overnight, a bit of salt on it, herbs, whatever you like, usually just some salt will do. Leave it for 24 hours, then cook it up, it'll be 10 times better. It'll have a lovely flavour. If you cook it fresh straight away, it can be quite bland. There you go, if you get any pollock, little tip. Tell you what, they love this little lure. This is that one, you've seen it in a couple of the videos, but I did a thing on plugs where I went out and bought a bunch of plugs, cheap ones. I mean, this Zebco's thing cost me, I can't remember what it cost, £2 or £1 or something. It wasn't much, put it that way. But it's certainly doing the business, it's paid its way, that's for sure. I mean, just the pollock we've had today, that's like I say, it's a meal. No, fish obviously came off that time. That's the trouble, hooks are too small. I really need to put slightly bigger ones than that. Something. Again, something was nipping at the, or hitting it, so decided to speed up. Do that quite often, actually. That's what a fish would do. If it gets attacked, it's going to try and bolt, so and it does work. Slowing down also works sometimes, but sometimes slowing down and then speeding up, that's the trick. Ooh, it's putting up a bit of a fight. Going to move forward. I'm running through some crab pots at the moment. My other line was about to run straight against the crab pots, we're drifting back on them, so just need to speed up, pull it away. Lure's more important than losing the fish at the moment. The other lure anyway, I think the other lure cost about £16, so it wasn't a cheap one. Not like this one. Yeah, this one's catching all the fish. There we go. Another pollock. Same spot every time today. It's obviously a shoulder pollock over a small clump of reef or something. Or over nothing. I've seen them diving before, shoaling just in the middle of nowhere. I think after this one I will head out for a quick trip deeper over by the rocks, and then I'll head back in and get my pots. I've seen one of my pots, so I know there's at least one pot around. There should be another two, so I'm going to bring them all in today. They need repairing anyway for next year, so I'll get that done. Yeah, it's just another pollock. Got a small pollock there. There he goes. Right. So this big rod hadn't been catching for a while, so I thought I'd check the lure. It had a piece of seaweed on it. That wouldn't have helped it catch, that's for sure. Well, anyway, we took the weed off, and this is the first run without the weed, and it's caught, so. This one's actually got a crystal minnow lure on it. The thing is with the crystal minnows, they can be really good, and other times they can just suck. Like I say, some fishing trips, this catches everything. Other trips, you won't barely catch a fish. But you could say that with a lot of lures, actually. All depends on the conditions, depth, and all the rest of it. So, I mean, most lures work as long as they swim right. It's just getting the colour right after that, because some colours just seem to not work at all. I don't find red and white in our waters good at all. I've caught coalfish on it, but that's about it. Now this lure is normally the one that picks up the bass, so will it have picked up a bass or will it be a pollock? It's a pollock. See, being a bigger lure, it should pick up the bigger pollock. Not always the case, but it does make a difference. Yeah, another lovely pollock. So we've come out to what is the deeper area normally, and it was very quiet, but this is the first run and something's grabbed it, and I think it's probably, I would assume this is a bass. This is what I came here for. You always get one or two here, you don't get loads normally. Although one year there was a whole shoal came in here, but that was many years ago, and I haven't seen that since. Literally, when you come out here you'll get one, maybe two, and you won't see any more. That'll be it. Thing is, in this, I say it's deeper, it is deeper, but it also gets disturbed very easily. You've got a lot of rocks around, so after you've done a few runs, you pretty much, that's it. Now, is it a bass? This is the question. I've gone down to one rod as well. We've had our pollock that we wanted. No, it's actually a pollock this, it's just a bigger pollock. Probably didn't need the net, but wasn't too sure on that hook. Yeah, that's the best one so far today. And it's off. Yeah, lovely fish that. Not a bass, but I'm not that bothered really. I actually prefer to eat pollock than bass, to be honest. Bass are more fun to catch, but as far as eating, I'd much prefer to eat a pollock than a bass. Crikey, I don't normally catch over this way. That went. Literally just put the lure out, took off, and something grabbed hold of it. Possibly pollock again, but there's a few fish out here then. Today anyway. Like I say, this place can be good at times. I mean, I haven't really seen it that brilliant for years, but the last year or so there's been a few fish coming in, or a few more pollock. This is going like a bass actually. The way that, yeah, that's got to be a bass. Can't see it yet, the light was in my eyes. Yep, one bass. And it came off straight into the net. That's why I was a bit, I could see the hook wasn't holding too well, so I was a bit keen to get it in that net. That's why I sort of messed it up a bit. Wasn't the perfect netting, that's for sure, but we got away with it. So. There you have one perfect little bass. It's flaring its gills up for the attack. Looks like I could possibly be about to get very wet. Look at that sky. I'm hoping it's going to veer off, but I don't think so. Right, we're heading in to do our pots. I can see them. We've got to get around all the rocks, get to them. Well, I don't remember leaving this one here. I thought it was much further over where the other one is. But possibly it's moved with the tide. Possibly I did leave it here, it was 2 weeks ago, so I can't really remember that well. Failing that, somebody lifted it, but we'll see. I'm not expecting anything anyway, not after 2 weeks. But you never know, sometimes you get a really big lobster that stays in the pot, can't find its way out. A rockfish in there. A rockfish and a spider crab, but no lobsters. I mean, these sort of things, the crab and the rockfish could have gone in any time. They tend to just wander in. what they call a ballan wrasse. This is not a bad one, this one here, and it's very, very good for catching lobsters. It's also very good to eat if you get a big enough one. If you get one like 4 or 5 pounds, they make excellent eating, even though people turn around and say, oh, they're bony. That's a load of crap. They're not bony as such, they're just a lot of work. So you've got to skin them or scale them, and they've got heavy scales and that, so it's just a bit of work to do them. But you do get a nice big fillet from them if you get a big enough one. I'm going to keep that one because next year when I put the pots back down, it's very hard to get bait at the beginning of the year. And I never buy my bait, I always catch my own bait, or I'll use like those Pollock, some of the Pollock we've caught today. I'll use all the frames and that, fillet them, take the fillets, and then use what's left of the pots. But rockfish, like I say, it's an excellent bait. It catches lobster well, stays in the pots a long time as well. Doesn't get torn to shreds very quickly, not like pollock and mackerel and that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of rock underneath this here, very shallow. See if we can grab it this way, we might miss it. No, we should be right. We got it. And like I said, I'm going to take all these pots in today, or for the 3 of them I've got out here. They give it to get very windy by the end of the week. They also give it to get very, very cold as well. Then you've got Christmas and all that coming up, so. But like I say, I've only got out this day in 2 weeks, or over 2 weeks, and it's pointless leaving them out there that long. Two weeks, one little spider. That shows you they do get out. These have got like these traps in, but they still find their way out of them eventually if you leave them long enough. Right, onto the last pot. Okay, last pot. Yeah, I got to do some work on these pots. They've been through some pretty brutal storms this year. A lot bigger than normal ones. Tends to wear the ropes at the bottom, so I'm going to have to re-rope them. And we got a lobster in that one. Well, there you go. I'm going to keep that one myself. And that will be size. So that's fine. Right, back to shore. Well, it's just starting to rain. Just made it back on shore. You can see the problem I've got. I've got to drive all the way down there. I don't like driving down there because the sand gets really soft down there, so I'm just trying to stay near the rocks where it's a bit firmer. But yeah, should have timed that better really, but I wanted to do some fishing. Anyway, we caught some fish, so it's not been a bad day at all.